Sports Radio Network. You're listening to the home of Sooner fans, KREF, Norman, Oklahoma, and streaming live on the KREF app. The Ref Sports Radio Network.
Considering refinancing your mortgage? Now might be the perfect time to start planning. With rates on the move, Stride Bank can help you determine if you may be able to lower your monthly payments, shorten your loan term, or tap into your home's equity. Stride's expert mortgage advisors will work with you to tailor a solution that fits your needs. With local roots and national reach, Stride Bank is your go-to partner for all your banking needs. Stride Bank, your trusted financial partner since 1913. Find out more at stridebank.com. Stride Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Connect directly, bid confidently. At Purple Wave Auction, transparency is key. With no reserves and no hidden surprises, you're connected directly to sellers so you can inspect and bid on quality equipment with confidence. Whether you're looking for ag, construction, or fleet equipment, we're here to ensure a clear, hassle-free experience. Register today at purplewave.com and start bidding with peace of mind. Purple Wave Auction, the easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment.
It's time. All we want to think about is football and basketball season, but it's also insurance season. November 1st to December 15th is open enrollment for your individual medical coverage. This is the time you need to pick a new plan or update your income to avoid tax penalties. If you're uninsured, this is the only time to buy individual medical plans for 2025 without a qualifying event. Call the agents at Allison Insurance at 405-745-2968 or 1-800-580-5587. It won't cost you anything and could save you a lot.
Great Plains Kubota, your one-stop shop for tractors with 40 horsepower and below. Kubota is known for their versatile, durable, and dependable compact tractors that offer a wide variety of options at affordable prices. So, package any of our compact tractors with GP and get a cutter, box blade, and a trailer. When you need more than just a tractor, shop Great Plains Kubota and shop the brand that serves. Visit one of our nearest locations or online at gpkubota.com. That's gpkubota.com.
It's Bananas, the new Chick-fil-A banana pudding milkshake. Real bananas and vanilla wafer cookie crumbles blended into cold, creamy ice cream desserts. Whether you order in or order delivery, at the 12th Avenue Chick-fil-A in Norman, it would be our pleasure to serve you and help with team meals, nugget trays, sandwich trays, mac and cheese, and more. We've got you covered. Call the 12th Avenue Chick-fil-A at 405-310-3189 or use the Chick-fil-A One app. And remember to eat more chicken.
Have you or someone you know suffered a loss to your home or business from the recent storms? Before you accept a settlement, call Brown O'Haver at 405-735-5510. Brown O'Haver is a local-based company helping Oklahomans with claims since 1988 with preparation and expert analysis detailing your loss and insurance settlement. As your trusted consultant, Brown O'Haver can give you peace of mind and make sure you're getting what's yours. Call Brown O'Haver today, 405-735-5510, and make sure they're working for you.
Do you know of a deserving community member that might be in need? Norman Air is giving back to the community by providing a brand new HVAC system fully installed. If you know someone facing financial challenges and in need of a new HVAC system, they would love to hear from you. Visit normanair.com, click on the HVAC giveaway, and nominate them today. Hurry, the deadline is November 15th. Norman Air wants to help, so nominate a deserving family today for the Norman Air HVAC giveaway.
Nominees must be a homeowner located in the OKC Metro with an existing HVAC system.
My mother was always very active and independent, and she was familiar with her neighborhood. But one day, she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. She wasn't even really sure where she was at.
It's important for you to talk to someone about it. I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, we'll figure it out.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
The Ref Radio Sports Network is powered statewide by the insurance adjusters at Brown O'Haver. Fire, wind, theft, or tornado, we can help. Call 405-735-5510. Live from the Buffalo Wild Wings Studios, it's time to get locked in to the best Sooner recruiting and football news with Tyler McComas and Parker Thune.
You better lock it up. You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up.
Hit the guys up on the Riverwind Casino call-in line at 405-329-9000. Text the show on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line at 405-651-3439.
Do it! Just do it!
Now, with Locked In, here's Tyler McComas and Parker Thune.
Oh, it's a football Friday. Midzou Hate Week continues on right here on the Ref. 6:45 tomorrow night on the SEC Network. We're going to Columbia to hopefully beat down the Midzou Tigers and get win number 6 of the year and officially eliminate Missouri from college football playoff contention. Some think that they're still in contention, others not. But a loss for Midzou tomorrow will officially give them their third loss and end their 12-team college football playoff hopes. And, of course, Parker, I had to roll my eyes today, doing a little pre-show prep today. Let's see what's going on ESPN. Like, what do they have? They have a key storyline or something. Here's the headline that they have for this game tomorrow. Oklahoma visits Missouri for the first matchup of old Big 12 rivals.
Oh, boy.
In the Southeastern Conference. It's freaking embarrassing, man, that people out there think that OU and Missouri are actual rivals. We're using that word. It's not a rival. It's a series. What do we have to do? I think you should have to file some sort of actually paperwork for two teams to be rivals these days. Maybe you just need to go out and beat them and embarrass them tomorrow. I don't really know, but I really want to work towards getting the word rivals removed from OU visits Missouri.
Couple things here. First off, I want to commend you on how effortlessly you have incorporated Midzou into your vocabulary, because you say it now without even thinking about it. I'm pretty sure if you read Mizzou on a sheet of paper, you would read it as Midzou. Yep. But I can tell that this is going to be a very gratifying weekend for you if the Sooners go up to Columbia and come out with a victory. Secondly, we already have Midzou roasts occurring on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Cherokee Sooner chimed in right at the top of the hour and said, how do we know the toothbrush was invented in Columbia, Missouri? Because anywhere else it would have been called the teeth brush. Methazoo sucks. Let's freaking go.
Those never get old. Can I just get all of that today? I mean, whatever you guys got on the text line, on the YouTube live stream, just kind of all of it. I'm all about the hate today for these guys because, yeah, dude, I'm gonna feel one of two extremes tomorrow walking out of Faroe Field for the post game. Either my hands will be lifted high in the air and probably talking a little trash. I don't know if I'm going to be able to help myself, or I'm going to be super down in the dumps and really contemplating on what the immediate future of this program looks like. Because, Parker, that's not just me. I think that's what's at stake tomorrow. It's not one of the bigger games nationally in college football or anything like that. There's a reason why it's on the SEC Network. But the difference in a win versus a loss for Oklahoma tomorrow, and I know that this is the case in most games that OU plays, but really tomorrow with the situation that you're in, everything that's transpired over social media over the course of the past, 9 months or so, this is a big game tomorrow for OU. And no, all of a sudden it doesn't make your season a success, but if you can just go on the road and win tomorrow, and if you do it without Javonte Barnes, if you do it with a beat-up offensive line, you can say, okay, well, this hasn't been a great year, but at least we're trending in the right direction and starting to maybe play some pretty good football here. We got that 6th win. Let's see if we can win at least one of the next 2, get to 7 with the chance to win 8 in a bowl game. There's some optimism that will be there next week if you can just win Saturday. But, buddy, if you lose, we're having some real hard conversations on Saturday night into next week. What's the future for Brent look like immediately? What's next year look like? Can you win one of the final 2 to get to 6 wins? I mean, the difference tomorrow in a win or a loss seems pretty drastic, dude.
That it does. This is a must-win game for Oklahoma. If they have played a must-win game all year, this is certainly it because – look, I can't operate with the expectation that Oklahoma is going to beat Alabama right now. I can't operate with the expectation that they're going to beat LSU. So I have no choice, Tyler, but to expect that if they lose the football game tomorrow, they're not going bowling. And if they don't go bowling in year 3 of the Brent Venables era, you have a 5-alarm fire on your hands. And nobody is going to disagree with that assessment. If you can get bowl eligible, at least you salvage the public perception somewhat, right? It's still this season is still looked upon as a bit of a disappointment, year 1 in the SEC. Still some things you wish you could have done better, certainly. stuff that was left on the table. But all in all, I think you can look at a 6-7, 7-6 campaign and at least conclude, okay, with the hand we were dealt, an offensive line that was battered all season, a wide receiver core that was battered all season, turmoil at the quarterback position, an offensive coordinator hire that was just a complete whiff. Even with all of that taken into consideration, you still prolonged the bowl streak, and you still won some competitive games against some competitive opponents.
Yeah, well, that's why I think that there could be some optimism if you just win tomorrow, whatever it looks like. But it's going to be hard to find that optimism at any point the remainder of the year if you lose to those guys. The realist says, Tyler, it may be neither of those endings leaving the stadium. Toby has predicted that you are kicked out because you are yelling Ms. Pooh too much. I say Midzou. I don't yell that one. But is there a possibility that I'm kicked out of the stadium tomorrow? It has never happened before in my life, surprisingly. I am in the OU section tomorrow, which would make it a little bit more difficult. I would say there is a 30% chance tomorrow, Parker, I get kicked out of Faroe Field during the game. 30% currently right now. We'll see if that shifts at all throughout the remainder of the show today.
Well, I don't imagine that you're going to become belligerently intoxicated. I don't envision that you're going to fight with a Missouri fan. I think you'll make it through. I have faith.
Okay. How about this take from Bobby and BA on the text line? Tell me immediately what you think of this, if you agree, disagree, whatever, because it is a big statement, but I think it's a fascinating question, or really a fascinating statement. Biggest game that Brent Venables has coached since being the head coach at OU?
No, I disagree.
How does that hit you?
I disagree. My immediate thought is no, that's inaccurate, because the biggest game that he's coached in his tenure at Oklahoma was the 2023 Red River Showdown against Texas. Because at the time, Oklahoma was undefeated. They were 5-0 on the season, as was Texas. That was that was the game that was either going to validate Oklahoma as a title contender or validate Texas as a title contender. And moreover, you had the subplot of 49-0 the previous year, where if you lose that game, then you have a lot of the fan base calling you the next Gary Gibbs. And so that, to me, was and still is the biggest game that Brent Venables has coached at Oklahoma. This is certainly up there, though, with how much hangs in the balance the rest of the way.
Yeah, and whether it's fair or not, I think a lot of people's opinion of this game has shifted because of the betting line. Because remember what we were saying coming out of the South Carolina game. Oh, geez, this team has 4 wins. Hopefully they can beat Maine, but their chance to go to a bowl game, oh my gosh, if they're going to go to a bowl game, they've got to beat Maine, and I think they could beat Missouri. That's the one they could get if they get another SEC game. I think they could win at Missouri. So it kind of goes to, I think they could win that game to, at least with the betting line, I think a lot of people expect you to go up there and win. I'm picking them to win tomorrow. You're picking them to win tomorrow. Steely's picking them to win tomorrow as well. There's a lot more people that are picking OU to win than we probably did 2 weeks ago. So I don't think it's number one either. I would probably tend to agree that it is last year's OU-Texas game. But it's probably somewhere in the top 3 just of where things are currently at right now, man.
Alex from Dallas on the text line wants to know, why are we favored?
I would guess, why are you favored? Because Brady Cook is not going to play tomorrow, and Farouk and Burks are listed as probable.
Yeah, I mean,
is that good enough?
And that's what it hinges on. If Brady Cook is healthy for this football game, Missouri is favored in Vegas. But the expectation is, and has been all week, that he's not going to be available, that it's going to be Drew Pine starting at quarterback for Missouri. And there's absolutely no reason, Tyler, why Oklahoma shouldn't be able to go and beat Drew Pine. If you can't beat Drew Pine, all right, hit the panic button, sound the alarm. It's time to start a dialogue at that point.
Yeah, no, I've said that all week long. If Drew Pine plays this game tomorrow, and I think he will, if he starts and plays in this game, I think OU should go up there and win the game, and I'll be extremely disappointed if they don't. Because look, is Drew Pine going to be put in a better spot tomorrow if he starts? I mean, I think he'll be put in a better spot than he was the last time he played. But Parker, if he goes out there and throws for a lot of yards and you lose to a guy like that, it's going to be extremely disappointing for a lot of reasons, but kind of most notably what he looked like the last time he played a game. Against Alabama, where he threw 3 interceptions, didn't even throw for 100 yards, and it was a complete disaster with him at quarterback. No, you are not a better football team than Alabama, in my opinion, but still, the last time you saw him, it was one of the probably worst quarterback performances in all of the SEC this year. So if you let him go from that to beating you tomorrow, it'll be highly disappointing. So I am, but I think this OU defense is going to step up and play a really good football tomorrow.
Well, you mentioned
that's where I'm at.
You mentioned the Alabama game, and I think the other thing that Alabama demonstrated in that football game is that if you take Luther Burden away, if you make him a non-factor, Missouri doesn't got a whole lot else that they can lean on offensively, Tyler.
Yeah.
Luther Burden had 3 catches for 3 yards in that Alabama game. 3 catches for 3 yards. Missouri scored 0 points. So, I mean, let's call it like it is. There is a very strong argument to be made that Luther Burden is going to be the best player on the football field tomorrow, that he is the most talented football player on the roster for either of these teams. But if you can find a way to mitigate his impact on the football game, make him a non-factor or a minimal factor in the passing game for Mizzou, and you make them find other ways to move the ball, how many other ways are they going to be able to find?
I don't think a whole lot, man. Like if Theo Weiss has, 6 catches against you for, 65, 70 yards, then so be it, man. You can't walk out of this game tomorrow and say, oh, wow, we let Luther Burden beat us. If they beat you, kind of like you're saying, like, so be it, but don't let Luther Burden be the one that kind of single-handedly beats you down the field tomorrow. That's cannot happen, cannot be the case. Okay. Gunny says if OU loses to Midzou tomorrow, he's going to riot and burn down Columbia. So a lot on even more so on the line tomorrow. Or on the game tomorrow than what we thought, with Gunny issuing threats like that. 605 says, did you guys forget the long-standing OU tradition of making backup quarterbacks look like an All-American? We do have a lot of experience with that. I'm just hoping that those days are over, and that won't be the case tomorrow.
Who's Mizzou's third-string quarterback? Who's on the roster behind Drew Pine? I don't even know.
Jeez, I don't even know, man.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
One would hope Drew Pine doesn't become the next Skylar Thompson tomorrow.
I think Big Boganowski, Mike Sr., is that him on the YouTube chat right now?
Is it really?
I think it is. If Tyler wants to increase his chances of getting kicked out tomorrow, I'll drop him a pin to my tailgate. Let's make that happen. Yes, please, Mike. Mike, I would really love to come by the tailgate tomorrow if you're serious about that. I promise I'll be under control until the game starts, but that would be great.
I'll tell you, Big Mike can throw together a pretty solid tailgate, Tyler.
Didn't you go to his tailgate like before the game last year in Junction City?
I did, yes. I've been to a Junction City tailgate orchestrated by Big Mike, and it was legendary.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time. Postal Sooner says, please, God, don't let Kenai Walker play in the secondary tomorrow night. So we're issuing prayers tomorrow to not let Kenai Walker in the game.
I would think your starting cornerbacks tomorrow will be Eli Bowen and Jacoby Johnson. If it's not Eli Bowen and Jacoby Johnson, if it's Eli Bowen and Kenai Walker and or Des Malone, I'm going to facepalm. I hope it's captured on the broadcast camera. I hope somebody has their camera trained on me so they can see my reaction and broadcast it to the world on national television when Kenai Walker and or Des Malone trots onto the field with the first team.
Well, I guess there is a real question now between us two. Who's going to make it through the game longer? Because you have threatened. It was a blatant threat earlier this week to leave the game walkouts if a certain offensive line combination is out there to start the game.
Well, either that or I'll just go like duct tape myself to the artificial turf at midfield and hold up the game until they can get me unstuck and drag me off to jail for the evening. I don't know. Do I see myself as more of the silent protest type or more of the ostentatious protest type? It's going to be a game time decision.
Yeah, well, just a lot on the line tomorrow. A lot on the line. Hey, I'm in Olathe, Kansas today doing the show. We got a great setup at my friend Matt and Trish Sheaver's house here in Olathe, which is pretty cool. I got a shuffleboard table about, 20 feet away from me. Are you a big shuffleboard player? You ever played it before?
I wouldn't call myself a big shuffleboard guy. I find shuffleboard a little trickier. Like, I am pretty good at most things, even if I don't have a whole lot. Like, I can pick something up quickly and at least be competitive at it. So, like, darts and stuff like that, pool. I don't play either of those things all that frequently. But when I do, I can be pretty competitive at it. Shuffleboard is a lot more difficult for me to grasp. It requires a certain element of touch.
Yeah, well, we'll see how I fare later on this evening on the shuffleboard table. I'll be hitting that up for sure. 405-651-3439 is the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Here's some good news. Was last night the single best availability report that we've received so far this season. We'll run that down and some recruiting to get to as well. Good news for one SEC team. Maybe it means good news for Oklahoma in the 2025 class. We'll talk about that and more right here on The Ref for the home of Sooner fans.
Join the movement. The Ref Army is growing. Don't miss a second of the Sooner coverage you want with the KREF app, the #1 source for Sooner fans.
The Showplace Theater at Riverwind is the best place for live music, and we've got some of the best acts around, like Three Dog Night, November 16th. Clay Walker, November 29th. Styx, December 7th. And John Party, December 20th. Riverwind is OKC's favorite casino experience.
A happy place comes in many colors. One that leaves you feeling refreshed. Something that gets you all fired up. Or gives you the space to chill. Whatever your color, bring happiness home with CertaPro Painters and make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
There are trucks, then there's the truck. GMC Sierra, with available features like the V8 engine, the ultimate luxury interior, and of course, the available world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra, not just any truck, the truck. GMC's continued commitment to professional-grade engineering is on full display at your Oklahoma GMC dealers. Come take a test drive today and see for yourself. We are professional-grade GMC.
Life is yours to spend. Spend it making more money. Spend it making more memories. Spend it learning a new skill. Spend it teaching an old trick. Spend it career climbing. Spend it mountain climbing. First United Bank. Spend life wisely.
Oh my nosh, how good is that food? Come taste the talk of the town at Nosh in Moore and enjoy a meal from their all-day brunch and lunch menu on Tuesday to Friday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. or Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. From tea parties to birthday and holiday parties, Nosh has something for everyone. Call 405-676-6674 to cater your next game day party, business event, or visit their website at noshinmore.com.
How about this? We're hanging out with the winningest coach in OU football history, Bob Stoops, Mondays on the T-Row in the Morning Show. It's the Stoops Review with the HBC on the T-Row Show, Mondays from 7:45 to 8:30 with limited commercial interruption. Every Monday, we'll be looking back at Saturday's OU game with a guy who knows what he's looking at. Bob Stoops, the Visor, the HBC on our show every Monday. Check it out. The holidays are approaching, and Balfour of Norman can help you make it a Crimson and Cream Christmas for everyone. Locally owned for more than 45 years, Balfour on Campus Corner has always been a favorite of Sooner fans. For holiday decorating, you will find Christmas ornaments, stockings, Christmas cards, and other decorations, including a 7-foot-tall inflatable Santa. Additionally, Balfour has something for every Sooner fan on your shopping list. Their friendly staff will help you find just the right thing for everyone. With sizes from newborn through adults, there is a great selection of shirts, polos, hoodies, shorts, pants, hats, and even socks. All from great brands like Jordan, Nike, Champion, Antigua, Hype and Vice, and many more. There is also a great selection of gift items like automotive accessories, golf gear, serving pieces, and decorative displays. You can even custom order OU cowboy boots or their newest item, an OU electric bike. So stop by the store on Campus Corner for all the latest and greatest in OU gear, or shop online at crimsonproud.com, where you will find everything Sooner.
Locked in with McComas and Thune, live on the Ref. We're the home of Sooner fans. Tyler McComas, Parker Thune, the Ref Army, listening worldwide on this Football Friday via the KREF app. Just search KREF in the App Store to listen to us wherever you're at on the go. I'm sure some of you are listening to us right now, making your way to Kansas City, making your way to Columbia, heading up to the OU Midzou game tomorrow at 6:45. I do know that Albuquerque, New Mexico is tuned in right now. Chandler, Texas, Olathe, Kansas, Atlanta, Georgia, Richmond, Virginia, Wooster, Ohio, Glendale Heights, Illinois, Redding, California, and the Parker Thune fan base of Elgin, Oklahoma is also tuned in today.
Ah, yes, that town loves
KREF app. KREF Army Locator is brought to you by Hornsdown Fine Spirits. Go check out Hornsdown Apple Pie. The game's tomorrow. All right, you want a bottle with the horns down on it. It's amazing. It's sweet. I got one sitting here right in front of me for the game tomorrow. Horns Down Spirits located in 80 locations throughout the state of Oklahoma. Dink and Addison, awesome guys, and they have a really, really, really cool bottle with the Horns Down apple pie. Go check them out. Okay, real quick on recruiting, and then we'll get to the availability reports. Looks like Texas A&M is set to receive some good news. Now, I think that OU sits in a good spot with Michael Fasusi. Others would tell you that, I don't know, I think he's going to decommit from Oklahoma and go to Texas A&M or Texas. Tom Loy on 24/7 Sports, Mike Roach of 24/7 Sports, both have Lamont Rogers, 5-star offensive tackle in 2025, to flip from Midzou to Texas A&M. Now, that's not surprising. I think we expected that, Parker. But what does that mean for Texas A&M's efforts for Michael Fasusi if they do indeed get a flip from Lamont Rogers soon?
What I can tell you, Tyler, is that if Lamont Rogers is an Aggie, Michael Fasusi will certainly not be an Aggie.
Yeah.
And look, Fasusi hasn't visited anywhere since committing to Oklahoma anyway, so there's no real he has not gone out of his way to do anything that would make Oklahoma fans feel uncertain about his commitment anyway. But I'll tell you, he's not flipping to Texas. And if you're worried about Texas A&M, Lamont Rogers' flip would essentially close the door on any odds that Fasusi would wind up in College Station, because they're both left tackles, and they know each other, and they're friends, and they've never operated under the assumption that they would be teammates at the collegiate level because they're both left tackles. And so obviously only one of them in the long run is going to play left tackle at a given institution, so the other one is either going to have to sit second string or flip over to right tackle or play guard. Not happening for either one of those guys.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so either. That's why I'm like, okay, well, we thought Lamont Rogers was going to flip. Now there's even predictions for it in, so if he really doesn't like Texas, then and there's no real reason to think that necessarily he's even on flip watch. That could be just kind of, stories that people are trying to drum up at this point. I continue to feel good about OU's chances keeping Michael Fasusi in the class. Is he back for he's visiting this month. I'm guessing he's back for the Bama game, or is he coming in for
Yes,
on the
he's
bye
back
week or
for the
something?
Bama game.
Okay. Well, that's good news there that Michael Fasusi will be back on campus in the month of November. Availability report last night. I'm sure you guys have heard it up to this point. If you haven't, Josh Bates was downgraded to doubtful. Javonte Barnes, Gavin Sawchuk, PJ, Michael Tarquin all listed as questionable. And then Jalil Farouk and Deion Burks, the big news, they were upgraded to probable. So just with those two guys, and we'll get to the whole Javonte Barnes situation, how that could potentially impact tomorrow. But seeing as Jalil Farouk and Deion Burks were upgraded to probable, and it looks like you might finally be getting not one but two wide receivers back, was that the single best availability report that we've gotten the entire season?
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty much nothing but bad news on Wednesday and
Right.
Thursday evenings throughout the year. Like, at least now you have Jalil Farouk and Deion Burks getting upgraded from questionable to probable. And you're like, all right, I can get used to this. Not having my spirits crushed and broken every Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah, it was nice, and that's that could go a long way. I think it probably will go a long way for those guys because you're really starting to find some things offensively right now. J.J. Hester just had the longest touchdown reception by an Oklahoma Sooner in Owen Field history. You're still kind of waiting to get Brennan Thompson going a little bit. Jacob Jordan's doing some nice things. But, Parker, there's a very good argument to be made that if these two guys play tomorrow and these two guys start and they're really 100% healthy, what you've essentially done is added the two biggest playmakers at wide receiver. Like that, if that happens tomorrow, you can make a great case that, a point that is the case tomorrow. Certainly with Burks, but I might even say that with Farouk at this point.
Yeah, Lesson Hayes adds when the next available report, tonight or tomorrow morning. So they put one out tonight, and then isn't it? They put one out on Friday night, and then they put one out on Friday or Saturday morning as well.
I think they put another one out tonight. I think that's correct. If not, definitely tomorrow.
By the way, do you want to check in on Muleshoe's recruiting class? I feel like this would be fun.
Oh, yes, please. Come on.
So Muleshoe does have a 5-star wide receiver committed because, well, he's Muleshoe. He's going to have a 5-star wide receiver every single year. His prized quarterback commit is still flirting with Colorado and Indiana. He has a 4-star offensive tackle commit that has been projected to flip to Colorado. He has a 3-star athlete commit that has been projected to flip to Tennessee.
Wow.
He has a 3-star cornerback commit who has been projected to flip to Auburn.
And what, they got a top 10 class right now, but if half of those that you just listed happen, he's not going to have a top 10 class, and a lot can happen here down the stretch of signing day. He's going to do exactly what he did at Oklahoma when he leaves for USC. And he will leave USC one way or the other. He'll take another job or he'll get fired. Parker, it's going to be a complete, absolute freaking disaster roster-wise when he leaves USC. The recruiting class is going to be in shambles. The roster will be left over in shambles. I guess it'll be a little bit different if he goes to the NFL and he won't have his best players follow him there. And not that they're great this year or anything, but he will that recruiting class will crater if there's a thought that he's not going to be there next season. Oh, yikes.
He was I guess they broke ground on a new athletic training complex yesterday out at USC. And Muleshoe, in a portion of his remarks prior to the groundbreaking, said that he believes there are many better days ahead at USC, many great days ahead. I just think it's funny that, very objectively, this is not a subjective judgment. This is objective. USC has gotten worse every single year he's been there, just like Oklahoma got worse.
I was about to say, just like
every
OU.
single year he was there.
Better days are ahead for USC. Well, that must mean that he's not going to be there for very much longer, because I don't know how that's going to be the case if he's still the head coach there. I thought you were going to tell me that they broke ground yesterday. He tried to throw the shovel down, and it looked like Tom Herman with the sledgehammer in the locker room. That's what I was hoping you were going to tell me. Not man enough to get the shovel in the dirt out there in L.A.
That would be hilarious. Maybe that did happen, and I just missed it.
Yoda says, hope Tatum breaks out, and the defensive tackle we lost out last year is playing. Yoda said that earlier. Yeah, I mean, I guess if we're going to talk about Farouk and Burks being now probable, we do have to talk about Barnes still being listed as questionable. And I heard you earlier with Steely saying that maybe that's not trending the right direction in terms of him playing. So if Barnes does not play, you got to think Tatum's running back one.
Yeah.
Who's RB2? Do you go Sam Franklin, or do we see a lot more Xavier Robinson?
Yeah, I was about to say, it might be X. After what he did last week, Tyler, like who would have thought there would come a day in the 2024 season where your top two options at running back could very well be your two true freshmen, Taylor Tatum and Xavier Robinson. Sign of the times at the University of Oklahoma. By the way, and this, gosh, man, I want to talk about an unfortunate turn of events and not maybe a bad decision as far as evals go. Oklahoma took Sam Franklin this offseason over a fella named Mario Anderson. Mario Anderson landed at Memphis. He's got 16 touchdowns and over 1,000 scrimmage yards this year, man. Tyler. I don't know if Oklahoma's entire offense has 16 touchdowns this season.
Well, not only that, because they did take Sam Franklin like really early on in the winter transfer portal, but some will say, well, forget him. Like, forget that. How did you let Tawi Walker walk out of the place? How did you let that happen? Like, why? He could have served a role in this offense. He could have been RB1 or RB2. Like, people will acknowledge that, what you just said, but I read a story, a couple of weeks ago about how Tawi Walker was, like, tearing it up in the month of October.
And he had a phenomenal October at Wisconsin. He's had a phenomenal season at Wisconsin. He's put himself in position to maybe have a shot at going to an NFL training camp next season. Now, he's not very fast. He's not very big. I don't know if, like, he certainly doesn't fit the mold of what the NFL wants these days at the running back position. But Tawi Walker is going to have a chance, man. And, like, to be clear, I hope everybody understands. As soon as the spat with DeMarco happened, he was leaving. Like, you weren't keeping him around. And the Sooners offered him a scholarship at season's end. They offered to sweeten the pot to keep him around, and he just wanted a change of scenery. And he is one of those guys that, given what he did at Oklahoma, you're rooting for him. I would hope you're rooting for him wherever he's at.
So this question goes to you. It goes to the text line, obviously, as well. How do we feel about OU's run game tomorrow? How are we feeling about things if Taylor Tatum is RB1 tomorrow and getting the majority of the carries? Feel good about that? Feel bad about it? Nervous?
I'm excited. I'm intrigued by the possibility that Taylor Tatum might be getting RB1 snaps because, and I mentioned this earlier, Taylor Tatum is the one player, the one cog in that backfield, who has proven all year that he does not need things to be blocked up ideally and or perfectly in order to wiggle into some open space. And so if Oklahoma's offense has to roll with Logan Howland at one tackle and Spencer Brown at the other tomorrow, Taylor Tatum is the one guy, I think, that offers you the possibility of being able to establish something of a threat on the ground. And that's not to say that Javonte Barnes couldn't do that if he wasn't at 100%, but he's not going to be at 100% even if he does play, which I don't think he will right now, Tyler. And so I think this is going to be a fun opportunity to see what Taylor Tatum really has to offer when he gets 15, 20 carries a game instead of 5.
Yeah, I mean, intrigued would definitely be a word that I would use here. I think that he's definitely capable on, explosive plays. I don't think he's going to break off a 75-yard run or anything like that. But I definitely think that he's talented enough to hit on a big run or two. I guess what makes me a little bit nervous about this, especially in a game that could be not great weather-wise, is the big mistake. Because as good as Taylor Tatum has been in some spots, he's made some big mistakes at times, and that's what kind of – not that I think he's going to play bad tomorrow if he is running back one. That would just be what would make me nervous is in a low-scoring game that I think is going to be tight – is that, one big mistake, one way or the other could, kind of lose this thing. And he's made some mistakes, as true freshmen do.
And ball security is all that much more difficult when there's rain falling. And so, that's the one thing you're just kind of crossing your fingers and hoping you don't see from Taylor Tatum is that one mistake, which he has been susceptible to this season.
Les in Hayes, Kansas says Tatum, 100-yard day. Brent from Jinx says, excited for Tatum, but worry about fumbling and lack of blocking. Krabby Sooner says, those guys wouldn't have produced the same at OU with all the problems we've had. I think he's talking about
and that may be true.
the two running backs we mentioned.
Sure.
Yeah. 405 put some stickum on his gloves, talking about Tatum. 405, hopefully Taylor can hang on to the ball. Craig in Cleveland, I'm hoping that the freshman holds on to the ball, no fumbles. 3-star Lost City Sooner, tell Tatum to tuck that thing high and tight. Very short lease if he fumbles, says Blue of Green Country. 405, what percentage are we believing Tatum's health is at right now? Does it feel like he gets banged up most games?
I mean, like, look, nobody's at 100% in, week 10 of the season, but Taylor Tatum's as close to 100% as you would expect your starting running back to. Like, Javonte Barnes is obviously banged up. There are guys on this team that are banged up, but Tatum's not listed on the the availability report.
Yeah,
and
easy
so
there. Come on.
If he's not listed on the availability report, that tells you he's pretty unencumbered by any restrictions that the program might have on him with regard to his health.
Yeah, well, at least Ethan Downs is no longer listed on the availability report. Don't think that that's a huge shocker there, but Ethan Downs is going to play tomorrow, which is very good news there. All right, we got one final segment of Locked In coming up next. We'll get to more of your text. We'll get to the YouTube live chats, OU Midzou tomorrow, and even some recruiting as well. Lots to do in the final segment. Keep it locked on the Ref.
Through the dead of winter, to the dawn of spring, through the dog days of summer, and the kickoff of fall, no one covers Sooner football like we do. The Ref is SEC ready. Are you?
When the game is on the line, you need a team that you can count on. When injuries occur, you can count on the one team that knows sports medicine. Norman Regional's Ortho Central is your premier team of orthopedic specialists. With 5 highly trained orthopedic surgeons, 3 fellowship-trained sports medicine physicians, and locations in Norman, Newcastle, and Midwest City, we'll work hard to get you back in the game. Ortho Central, #1 in sports medicine and orthopedic care. Call 405-360-6764 and schedule an appointment today.
It's football time in Oklahoma, and it's the perfect time to build your dream home with K&B Homes. Whether you're in the OKC Metro or beyond, they offer flat fee pricing with no hidden surprises. Bring them your game plan or choose one from the K&B playbook. They will bring your dream home to life with custom woodwork and your personal touches. Make the winning call today with K&B Homes. Call them today at 405-808-9005 or visit kbhomesllc.com to kick off your project.
What is a good neighbor? It's someone nearby who helps make your life a little easier. I'm State Farm Agent Julia Chu, and my team and I take time to understand your insurance and financial needs. So whether you're preparing for retirement or in need of auto, home, life, or business insurance, get the kind of help you'd expect from a good neighbor. Visit the Julia Chu Agency or call 329-3311. Come visit at our new location, 701 Wall Street, Norman.
Get your ugliest holiday sweater out of the closet, put together a team, or register as an individual and make your way to Legacy Park on December 14th, 9 a.m. for the Norman and Parks Rec annual Ugly Christmas Sweater 5K run. Pay $30 for a shirt and medal and have your race timed or run untimed for free. Prices increase on December 1st, so sign up early. Go to Norman Parks and Rec on Facebook for more information. Start your weekend off right at Coach's Corner for their legendary brunch every Saturday and Sunday from 9 to 1. You'll love the wings and waffles, catfish and grits, and the fan favorite, the Boomer Burrito. Then stick around for the ultimate game day experience with tons of TVs and the coldest beer in town. There's no better place to catch the big game. And don't miss their Halloween trunk or treat on Halloween night from 4 to 6 p.m. Costumes, candy, and fun for all ages. Coach's Corner located at Lindsay and Barry in Norman, where every day is game day.
Hey Sooners, I'm OU alum and Boyd Street Ventures founder James Spann. The Sooners season is underway, which means it's time for the Boyd Street Ventures Under the Radar Player of the Game. It's time for you to consider investing in BSV. Our portfolio has 16 innovative, under-the-radar, Oklahoma-connected companies. If you want in, the sooner the better, as our fund closes December 31st. Check out our portfolio at BoydStreetVentures.com. Boyd Street Ventures, under the radar, above the crowd.
One smile is great, but one smile in a community of smiles is so much better. Smile Train celebrates the cleft lip and palate community by empowering medical professionals in over 70 countries. to perform essential cleft care in their local communities. Learn how Smile Train is helping the cleft lip and palate community at smiletrain.org/learn. Smile Train, changing the world one smile at a time.
Hey y'all, I'm Blake Shelton. Being from Oklahoma, I know a thing or two about natural disasters. Tornadoes are common where I'm from and have affected my life and the lives of people I care about. No matter where you live, be aware of the dangers in your area and have a plan. You can create an emergency kit, come up with an evacuation plan, and know where to seek shelter. You never know when a disaster may hit. These simple steps can help save a life. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Final segment, Locked In with McComas and Thune. Dorsey Jones Buick GMC bringing you this hour of Locked In with McComas and Thune. And don't forget about Pineco as well. Christmas lights. If you are looking to do Christmas lights this upcoming holiday season and you don't want to deal with the hassle, give Pineco a call. 405-708-8141. That's 405-708-8141. They will buy your lights for you and put them up and put up the lights that you already have as well. They'll do storage. Residential and commercial, Norman Moore and Oklahoma City. They're locally owned and operated. And if you tell Pineco you heard it on the ref, you get 10% off of your total bill. That's Pineco at 405-708-8141. 405-708-8141. All right, Jason from Miami really needs to know, okay? Really needs to know. Says, what about Hicks at running back? What has happened to him? And then right after that says, anybody freaking know? With about 4 question marks and 4 exclamation points there. That's been a big mystery this year, hasn't it? I mean, have we seen him in one game up to this point?
Yeah, one game. I'm pretty sure the only game he played in was a South Carolina game where Oklahoma just kind of emptied the bench because they were out of answers at a certain point. But, yeah, Caleb Hicks is one of those guys where you'd frankly be surprised if he did return to Oklahoma in 2025. With the depth that they have in that running back room and just the lack of opportunity that has existed for a guy that was pretty highly regarded coming out of high school, it's evident that he may benefit significantly from a fresh start somewhere else.
I totally missed this. 34 minutes ago, Pete Nakos of On3 says, Missouri quarterback Brady Cook is viewed as doubtful for Saturday's game against Oklahoma, multiple sources tell On3. He's been listed as questionable on the SEC injury report this week as he works back from hand and ankle injuries. So there you go. Doubtful. Day before the game. Not surprising, but
no,
still
not surprising.
Good news.
Not surprising. So, Drew Pine, come on down.
Got to win this game tomorrow, man. You got to win this game tomorrow. It doesn't have to be pretty. You don't have to win it by multiple scores. Just go win the thing by, well, preferably more than a field goal because Ref Royal Rumble, I got OU -3 right now. Let's go win it by a touchdown, okay? Just go win this thing by a touchdown, but get to 6 wins and get the heck out of Columbia, Missouri, man. Get out of there. 580 says, I must have missed it. Do we know what's wrong with Sawchuk? Did Brent say last week it was a hamstring with Gavin Sawchuk?
It was a quad. He strained a quad. Yeah. That's what it was. Joe in Tulsa asks, does Isaiah Autry-Dent start or Spencer Brown? Also, would they move Hickman out there? When you say out there, what do you mean? Because Hickman's 6'2". He's not going to be playing tackle. He's probably not even going to be playing guard. Center is his spot. That's all he's ever played at the collegiate level. So, if Hickman's in the game, it's going to be at center. Now, I would like to see Isaiah Autry-Dent start. If it's that or Spencer Brown, give me Isaiah Autry-Dent all day, every day.
I don't disagree, man. I don't disagree. Show Me Boomer in Missouri says, my manager knows Brady Cook's dad. He is not playing.
Boom.
There it is.
Boomer.
There you go.
Scoop of the week from Show Me Boomer. Right there. Confirmation.
Kate of the 918 says it's year 3 and under BV. I don't think they've had a dominating performance in his tenure yet. It's time for one. No more culture talk. I want to see it on the field. Midzou is starting at backup quarterback, and we've got to win this game to set the tone going forward with that bunch. Championship mentality time. OU 27, Tampering University 0, zilch, nada. Wow. 27-0 says K-Dub.
Shutouts.
take it.
Well, let me ask you this. What would be more gratifying tomorrow to OU? Well, to you and to the OU fan base at large, to watch Caden Green get Breckenhagered or to watch Williams Winery get Breckenhagered?
Oh, Kate. Yeah. Well,
or Luther Burden.
Yeah. Is it bad that I at least feel? I mean, I feel a little sympathy for Caden Green because I don't think that was mostly his doing.
Yeah.
Do you feel the same way with that, or do you think most people feel the same way with that?
I mean, neither Caden Green nor Williams Winery is at Missouri because they had this innate, insatiable desire to be Missouri Tigers. I've been saying it for a long time. Anybody that followed those two sagas kind of knows the reality. There was more at play than their desires in all of that. So,
I have a write-in submission to your question. Write-in submission. I want Danny Stutzman to roll up to Drinkwitz at the end of the game and say, we stand on business to him. How about that? After knowing you win.
That'd be iconic. It has to be captured on a mic, though, the way that Eli Drinkwitz's original "We Stand on Business" comment was captured.
Yeah, he said it like a wuss and then real quiet and then ran off like a punk. Yeah, fascinating. Dallas Bill says, one word answer for both questions, yes, in all caps. Spence in Tulsa says, I do not discriminate on victims. I just want bully ball tomorrow. Boomer Brady says, I am Brady C. from Missouri, and I am not playing tomorrow. So we got all the scoop today, man. We got all the inside scoop today on this
918 game. Listener said, bury them all either with us or against us.
I'd like that a lot, too. Hey, how did Cash Jacobson, 3-star Jinx, he just got the OU offer last weekend, but 3-star defensive lineman out of Jinx, how did he look last night?
Well, yeah, I went to Edmond North to watch Edmond North and Jenks last night. As it would turn out, Cash Jacobson had been dealing with an ankle injury and tried to give it a go last night and couldn't, and so he was in street clothes when the game kicked off, and then come the second quarter, a rainstorm hit, there was lightning, they canceled the game. So, all in all, a complete wash, no pun intended, in Edmond last night. I got none of what I came for.
That's a bit of a bummer. I had it all planned out yesterday to be like, and I mean, you can have an opinion on this without seeing him last night, but we do have our top 10 in the state of Oklahoma for 2025. 10 really good players, and it's not going to be easy to break in that top 10, but should Cash Jacobson, should he get serious consideration for being one of the top 10 players in the state for 25?
Who is the number 10 player in the state right now?
Grady Adamson, according to Rivals, is.
Oh, okay.
He's a good player.
How about number 9?
Let me check in on it, number 9, but I know Grady Adamson was at number 10.
Because Grady Adamson is criminally underrated. That is a guy that ought to be higher.
At number 9 is Caden Knighton, Baylor commit out of Wynnewood, running back.
Okay.
And Marcus James is at 8. The OU commit at backer out of Carl Albert. And then Shield Knights at 7. OU commit out of Wagner, defensive end. Trinae Washington, OU commit, tight end at Carl Albert is 6. Maybe here's your target right here. Broderick Scholl at number 5, offensive tackle, Auburn commit out of Bixby.
So, yeah, I mean, just rattling off that list the way that you did, I don't know whether I could confidently say Cash Jacobson is a top 10 prospect in the state of Oklahoma, but it is obviously a really deep class within state lines in 2025, so that's not nearly as much of an indictment on Jacobson as a player as it would be in pretty much any other cycle. He's an awesome talent, great size, great athleticism, and somebody that Brent Venables in Oklahoma decided, yep, we want that.
So you're leaving for Kansas City, Columbia, wherever you're staying. You're staying outside Columbia. You're leaving in like 5 minutes, right?
Yeah, I'm leaving in like 5 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. I left my house in OKC at about 8 a.m. this morning, and buddy, when I tell you that it rained the entire way up here, it rained the entire freaking way up here. So I hope that you don't have the same treatment. I have not looked at the radar, but drive safe up here if that is the case for you, man.
Did you go through the Flint Hills? Is that the way you went?
Dude, yes. I can't count how many times I've drove through the Flint Hills. They have a sign for it and everything right off the highway.
It's cool in the summer.
Hey, what's the lake that's right off the highway? I think in the Flint Hills. that has all the trees sticking out in the, it's a lake right off the side of the highway, and all it is a bunch of trees sticking out above the water.
Oh, yes, I know what lake you're referring to. I don't know what the name of it is, but yes.
This beautiful lake. Beautiful lake. Tim from Nebraska on the text line says, waiting on granddaughter to get out of school. We'll be on the way to Midzou shortly. 21-12 Oklahoma. Booma. Be safe, Sooner Nation.
Wow, you actually said Mizzou there.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know what's gotten into me. I need to change that. It's Friday before the game. I can't be saying that crap or anything. So Tim has 21-12. I have 20-13, which is a pretty normal score, I think. I mean, it's a low-scoring game, but it's a somewhat of a normal score. You've got 17-6. I'm starting to think that Tim from Nebraska is probably going to be right, and at least one of the teams has a very weird, like a 12. Someone scores 12 in this game. Maybe 12's enough to win this game. But I feel like we could be looking at like a, 18-11 type football game or something weird like that.
If Oklahoma scored 18 points, it would be on 3 touchdowns and 3 missed extra points as well.
Schmidt
because they ain't getting there with 6 field goals, I'll tell you that much. In response to the Cash Jacobson discourse, there's a 918 listener that said, even our recruits are injured.
Yeah.
And there was another one that said, imagine that, not even at OU yet, and he's already on the injury report. Yeah, man, you want to talk about bad? Like Marcus Harris is out for the year. He broke his collarbone. Alex Shield Knight is out for the year. He broke his fibula. You got Cash Jacobson dealing with ankle issues. Like, man, I don't know what's in the water in Norman, but apparently anybody who steps inside the Switzer Center is afflicted with a curse of some sort.
Do you think Brent's press conference for early signing day is basically going to be like, hey, we're really excited about this freshman class, one of the best classes in the country, field our needs on both sides, and we expect all those guys to be ready to go for the start of the 2027 season? Think he'll say that with all the injuries going on? Man. Bummer. Hopefully those guys are ready to go next year.
Puerto Rican Sooner has made his final prediction. 38-12 OU with an EPL goal line TD after trucking Williams-Winery.
Jeez, that is the stuff I'm looking for, Puerto Rican Sooner. That I like. Have we ever had an offensive lineman get more touchdown predictions than EPL? I don't think that we ever have. There's been a lot of great offensive linemen that have played this program, yet we can't get through a Football Friday without at least 5 people predicting an EPL touchdown. And I got to say, I love it.
Oh, man. An 832 listener says, can we line up Boganowski across from Caden Green on the first offensive play just to set the tone for the game?
Oh, man, he is – I love me some Michael Boganowski.
Oh, man, and listen, as we learned against Auburn, too, he don't care how big or how small you are. He's going to put his helmet right under your chin either way.
Yeah, he's and in that Auburn game, that entire game was tight, but he runs over kind of from the other side of the field from his safety spot, makes like a big-time play right at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage. He's just – there are some freshmen that are wide-eyed when they go in. It's like Michael Boganowski, fears nothing or nobody. He just gets in the game no matter the situation. It's like, whatever, man, I'm just going to go play ball. I just want to go hit someone. Like, golly, his future, it's exciting to think about, man. Exciting to think about. Sooner Stevens says, on the road to St. Louis today from Norman. Going to drive in from St. Louis tomorrow. My girlfriend lives in STL, and it's a great excuse to go see her and watch a Sooner game live. That's not an easy drive to St. Louis, man.
No, it is not.
That's a haul up there. So, drive safe, Sooner Steven. I don't know if you're hitting any weather or not, but drive safe up to St. Louis, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow out in Columbia before the 6:45 matchup of OU at Midzou. In case you missed it, reports are out now that Brady Cook is doubtful for tomorrow's game, so looking more and more likely that we're going to see a backup quarterback tomorrow. OU going to be facing a backup quarterback tomorrow. 6:45 on the SEC Network. OU listed as 2.5-point favorites in this game. All right, The Rush is coming up next. Brian Bosworth will join us at 4:50 today, brought to you by OEC Fiber. Teddy is traveling right now with the team. So for the first couple of hours of the show, Travis Davidson is going to join me. He's somewhere in the state of Kansas, firing off some college football bets somewhere. We'll catch up with Travis